Hi, it's time for another Gracin. A Gracin is a little scoop on God's grace. It's a short devotional that I've written, and this is Gracin number 24, entitled Hammer Time. And it reads like this. Have you ever put your trust in someone or something else, only to be let down? Have you cheered for your favorite sports team that never seems to get to the finals, let alone win the championship? Have you purchased something only to find out that it wasn't quite as good as the advertisement claimed it to be? Or how about the trip that was so fun to plan, but ended up being an actual nightmare of an experience? I'm sure we all have our stories to tell. If we could get together, we'd spend an entire week just laughing and crying together as we listen to each other's life experiences. Sometimes the disappointments that come across our path are not the fault of someone or something else, but instead they're self-induced. This often happens when we make an error in judgment, by placing our hope in the wrong things. When we've expected a certain outcome, but we've trusted in the wrong thing to bring it about. For example, tomorrow you have an early morning appointment that you can't miss. You have to wake up in time to shower, have breakfast, and go through some final prep work. In all your wisdom, you decide to put a hammer on your night table beside the bed, trusting that it will wake you up in time. Now, it's not the hammer's fault that you ended up sleeping in, so don't get mad at the hammer. The hammer was never made for that purpose. The fact is that you had some faulty thinking going on. You were expecting the hammer to deliver a result that it just couldn't do. Now, if you wanted something to nail, well, then the hammer would be your friend, because a hammer hammers. In the New Testament, we see Paul speaking to well-meaning Christians who had faulty thinking in regards to the law. They had trusted Jesus for salvation, but they had the opinion that trying to fulfill the law would help them live out a God-honoring, righteous life. Hello? Did you ever hear about the guy who put a hammer by his bed? Now, the law is not at fault here. There's nothing wrong with the law. The fact is, the law was never intended to produce righteousness. If it could, then Jesus would never have had to come to earth, die on the cross, lie in the tomb, and be raised from the grave. The very purpose of the law was to bring man to the end of himself, to a place where they could see that Jesus was their only answer. Jesus himself said that he didn't come to abolish the law, but to fulfill the law. Today, Jesus is still the answer. He is the way, the truth, and the life. And if you're in him, you stand righteous before God, not because of your right doing, but because of who you are in Jesus. There's no need for you to try and live by the law, not even a little law.